Hey, good afternoon, everyone. This is Tom Stark, and I'm here today. It's a Saturday afternoon in the Metro Detroit area, and I'm doing a little bit of work. Actually, I'm preparing a message for a class tonight that I'm going to be teaching. But as I've been preparing, I've also been thinking about something else, and it's kind of odd how all this comes together and how it all works. But my question is, and the question that's been coming to me all day is, what's your side hustle? What's your side hustle? You know, several years ago, and this goes back almost 20 years, I was managing a division in a mental health agency, and it was a fairly large agency. I had, roughly 45 full-time employees under me and another 45 part-time employees, folks who I was responsible for and helping to manage what their activities and what their days were. So it was a fairly big job, fairly responsible with a number of people that I ended up having to work with and support and to help. Well, I remember that one day one of my staff came in and said, Tom, I'm not making enough money doing what I'm doing. And this was a person with a professional degree in social work, very good, very skilled at what she was doing. And she said, I've taken on another job. And that job was a bartender. So at nights, a couple nights a week, and sometimes on the weekend, she would tend bar. Well, she did it long enough that eventually she left our profession because she was making more money and doing better financially waiting on a bar or bartending than she was working in a professional capacity in social work. But the thing is that the executive director of that agency also had a side hustle. He owned property, and he was a property manager. In fact, I believe he owned a trailer home park in another part of the state, and occasionally would have to drop everything and go up there to deal with some crisis going on with with his tenants or with the property or with whatever was going on in that circumstance. So you have somebody who is master's degreed and has that kind of skill set, very good at what she does. She's barely making a livable wage and has to find a second opportunity. But you also have somebody in that agency who was making the big bucks. He was making more than anybody else, and yet he had a side hustle too. And I'm thinking that in this economy today, even though that story is about 20 years old, in this economy today, more and more people have side hustles. They're doing something else on the side where they're augmenting their income, maybe to pay bills, maybe to save for retirement, maybe to do something special, maybe to pay off medical bills or that sort of thing. But it's an important consideration. I have a side hustle. I have several of them actually today. I don't know what yours is. I hope you have one, because really it's a godsend if you do. It's not drudgery. In the first example where the young lady was leaving social work, it was kind of a drudgery for her because she was working way more hours than she wanted to work. But the fact is that she was doing it and she was making something happen for her life. I met her many years later. She actually was back in the profession. She'd given up bartending, and she was actually doing very well for herself back in the social work arena. But that's what she had to do to take care of herself in that time. It's no different today. People have to have multiple streams of income. People need to have some level of security. If you're working a job and you just have one source of income, what happens if that job goes away? What happens if you're terminated or you're laid off or something else happens, maybe an illness, and you're all of a sudden living off of short-term or maybe long-term disability, maybe even Social Security? You don't have that same level of financial freedom, that financial confidence that you would have if you had multiple streams of income. So what is your side hustle? What are you doing to promote yourself, to make your life and the quality of your life better? I know what mine is. I know what I'm doing. I know what a lot of other people do. I know several people who are serial entrepreneurs. They have many things going. Some of it's brick and mortar kind of stores. Some of it's consulting. Some of it is home-based businesses. Some of it is working 2, maybe even 3 jobs. It's all okay. But have something. Have something in your hip pocket that you can use every day, where you can begin to earn a second or a third income, something that supports what you're doing, so that you won't be caught, where you won't be caught with your pants down, so to speak, and not be prepared when something bad happens. Anyway, those are my thoughts today. What is your side hustle? I'd really be curious what it is. If you'd let me know, I'd appreciate it. And just put it in the comments section. You can also check out my blog site or my website. It is www.theorganicretiree.com. But I look forward to hearing from you and seeing all the wonderful things that you're doing. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch this video.